Kathy's here, and the Rainbow is here. I kind of made a little bit of a change. It basically shows up all of the buildings because this one was blocked by this, so I moved things over. I moved the let's all right. Now I can't find the stylus. Oh, come on. What the hell? I just had the stylus here. Where'd the stylus go? Oh, I'm having... How did it get over there? Jesus. Broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Cleveland, it's station WDWL TV with me, the grumpy old man, with a guest appearance by the Grumpy Jackalope. And our show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow, no bow, no bow.
But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
And now the nightly ceremonial lighting of the Festivus pole. Voila! Get that out of the way. We don't need that right now. How is everybody doing tonight? I just saw the weather forecast. We're going to have lightning tonight. It's Cleveland. Lightning. Why can't we have lightning for New Year's Eve? It would be a little more appropriate. But yeah, lightning. Oh, eating early tonight, huh? Did you see where for this year or 2026 the ball is going to drop 3 times? It's dropping twice at midnight. And then it's going to drop again on July 4th. Actually, at midnight, July 3rd. 1 minute after midnight on July 3rd, going into July 4, the ball will drop again. Because the first drop will do the regular 2026, and then 4 minutes later, the ball is going to drop again, celebrating America's 250 years. And then 1 minute or one second after midnight on July 3rd, going into July 4th, it will drop again. About time, Christ, the money they spend on that thing, they use it once and throw it away. And this year, they call them pucks. They are super large versions of this LED. And they are able to program them to do all kinds of stuff. Spell out words, make maps, do fireworks. Oh, the ball this year is, I saw some videos of them testing. It is amazing what this thing will do. But after it lights up to 2026, it's going back up the pole, and then it's going to come down again. And then for 4th of July, so Times Square going to go crazy twice. Yeah, it was in the news today that since, this is the, I can't remember what the hell they call it, aqua centennial or some shit, whatever. Since it marks 250 years, the ball will drop twice. And then for the 4th of July, it will drop starting the 4th of July holiday. No, they were showing the new winch system. It's amazing. Yeah, it used to take them quite a while to get. They've got this new winch system that once it drops and lights up 2026, it takes it 3 minutes. Because they said at 12:04 it will light up 250 or whatever it's going to do. Yeah, there was a video today showing all the testing that they're doing, and the new wind system, 3 minutes to get it back up the pole. Because they have been testing it almost around the clock for a week to make sure that there's no glitches. And then they showed the, I can't remember whether it's 6,000, I think they said 6,000, maybe more, I might be wrong, don't quote me. The Waterford crystal glass lenses that are going over those big LED pucks with a P. I haven't read email since 8 o'clock this morning, Ron, so if you sent me anything after 8 o'clock, I haven't gone into my email. I was busy most of the day basically getting ready to wrap up the end of the year with paperwork and all kinds of other shit I have to do. So if you send something during the day, I won't see it till tomorrow. There's probably a shitload of emails. I usually, matter of fact, what I do is I put my email over in the corner of the screen. I move YouTube over as far as I can get it, and then I put my email in case something pops up. Yeah, I guess Kathy will have to open her email. Because I spent several hours ripping this house apart because I'm missing one of my small form factor computers. I don't know where it went. The last time I saw it, it was on that rack that I had in here last New Year's. Because all I did was just pick it up and carried it out in the living room and put it in the corner. Because that one had two small form factors. I took the one more powerful one off, and that's over here. The one that was over here is sitting back in Studio One, but number 3, I have no idea where it went. Oh, I have no idea on that one. Because I don't know daughter Debbie in the bishop's wife. I no. So I wouldn't be able to answer that one anyway. That one I'm going to leave for Kathy. And I'm starting to think I'm going to have to go to the fucking dentist because there isn't too much change in this goddamn. I don't know. It seems like the antibiotics all of a sudden stop working. Now, see, I wouldn't have been able to answer that because I never saw the bishop's wife. I'm not too big on movies. There has to be something that really interests me to watch a newer movie. Like, because everybody was talking about it, I watched Top Gun. I haven't watched any other movie with Tom Cruise since. Yeah, I never even heard of that movie. But see, I don't pay attention. You know, they run the trailers, and most of the time I just ignore them unless, you know, it's something that I would be interested in. Well, just because it's from the 40s don't mean nothing. Matter of fact, the last movie I bought was the Conclave, because you know after the Pope died, there was so much talk about that movie, and it didn't impress me. I Good thing I bought it used because I only wasted $5. See, now that's part of the problem when you buy a movie. If you really don't care for it, you're stuck with it. Yeah, Kathy, I'm the same way. I would rather watch a documentary than watch some bullshit movie that some, you know, that's a takeoff of a book that some author wrote that, you know. Like I say, the last one I bought was The Conclave, and I really didn't care for it. So it's on the shelf with the rest of the DVDs now. That's like I can't remember. I think it was my cable through AT&T. You know, I got like a free month of HBO and a free month of Showtime and a free month of something else. And like, you know, they run the same movie over and over and over and over and over. And I canceled like a week into it. I even called and I said, "Hey, don't charge me. I'm canceling." I've never been a big movie person. You know, when you're dating, you have to do the obligatory movie because, you know, that's what. Can we go see a movie? Oh, yes. What are we watching? I saw it through the keyhole. The hell kind of movie? I mean, I would love to see that movie. Sorry, I didn't sleep well last night. You want another 5-gallon bucket of popcorn? Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, and a 3-gallon Slurpee? Okay. Oh, I was always the gentleman, you know. What movie would you like to see? The Fox and the Aardvark? That's not a Disney movie, is it? It is? I mean, oh, I would love to see it. Yeah, Kathy, I gotta be on my deathbed. I'm not, like I say, I would rather watch a documentary. Because even though, the movie will say based on a true story, it's still got a bunch of filler in it. Give me a good African savanna documentary on cheetahs. I'm right there. Give me some frickin' love story. Blech. Yeah, Kathy, you're laying there watching that movie going, oh my God, I could, be grocery shopping or I could be doing laundry right now. Here, I'm laying in bed. Bleh. That's why, another reason I don't get cable because a lot of it is all, movie channels and I'm not into that. Like I say, give me a good documentary. Give me something filmed over in Africa. A nice, wildlife video. I like that kind of stuff. Or good murder interrogations or police cases. Something that piques my interest. A movie. Oh, what the hell was that? Oh God, what the hell was that goddamn movie? My wife dragged me to see. We couldn't wait till it came out on cable. No, some movie where the aliens took over the world. I can't think of the name of it. What the hell was the name of that goddamn movie? It had to be in the late 90s. I can't think of the name of that. Oh, it was a blockbuster movie, too. I want to say 1997. Some space invaders took over the world. I can't think of the name of it. Probably because I didn't want to go see it to begin with. Yeah, there were spaceships landing everywhere. New York City and Chicago and yeah, Independence Day. Had to go to the theater, spend a gazillion dollars for tickets to go see that movie that I didn't want to see, and it didn't impress me. But oh, my wife, oh, we gotta go see it. Now, it was Independence Day. It made such an impression on me, I couldn't remember the name of it. Then when it came out on DVD, she buys the DVD and we got to watch it again. I was like, oh, I saw this once. Matter of fact, when we got divorced, I said, here, take the DVD with you. You can watch it as many times as you want. I mean, you know, hokey, made up space bullshit. Don't that doesn't interest me. Now, if a real flying saucer landed in New York City, okay. I want to see the documentary. Like I say, I ordered the Conclave. I watched it. I wasn't impressed. I wasted $5 plus tax ordering it off the used DVD section off of Amazon. Oh, speaking of Amazon, oh, Jesus Christ. I had a package delivered today. Now, I haven't put the banner up yet. You'll never guess where Amazon delivered the package when the instructions said milk chute or side door only. And they take a picture. So as soon as the weather gets a little bit better, I realized I was going to put it up today. The major problem is my address is on the bottom of the outside door. I have to make up an address plaque and put it like on the porch or something, because when I put the banner up, it's going to go from the top of the door to the bottom, and it'll cover up my address. So I have to I was looking on Temu today. You can get these illuminated address boxes. They're solar powered. So I think I'll order one of them. And I have a big flower pot. I'll stick it in the flower pot in the middle of the step, and then that way I can hang the banner. The address will be clearly visible with the big sign that says, "Side door, assholes." And you know what? The one sign that I have on the porch that says, "Deliver the side door," it has the logos, FedEx, UPS, Amazon, USPS, DHL, and they put the package right under the sign. Because when I opened my email, it said, "You have a package delivery." I was like, really? And I clicked the email, and then it said, "View proof of delivery picture." And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe they actually take a photo to show their stupidity. So I went right on Amazon. Yeah, because then you get the email, They want a rating on the delivery. Oh, did I rate the delivery? And for comments, I said, "Zoom in on photo, please." But the shipping instructions, right underneath, there's my name, address, and then right next to my address, it says, "Side door delivery only." And they put it on the front porch. There we go. Delivered. And there's no snow out there. So it wasn't like they "Oh, well, he didn't shovel his driveway." Of all companies, Amazon. I expected it from Uni, not Amazon. So I ordered the address box, and it was from a local warehouse. So it says I should have 3 to 5 days, which means 7. And then once I have this address box, then I will put the banner up. And all my neighbors will be like, "What's with that big-ass sign on your front door?" And I'll tell them, nobody knows how to follow delivery instructions, except my postal carrier, UPS, and FedEx. And I'm only saying FedEx because I have a new pixie that bought the route, who is very good about delivering packages per instructions. And then it pissed me off because the camera I ordered don't work. The zoom feature don't work. Because I hooked it up to OBS. And the camera come on, and it was like, so I wanted to zoom, zoom in, raise, lower, don't work. So I have to send it back. And then, talk about getting cheaper and cheaper. Most remotes come with batteries. Not this one. Had to put my own batteries in. Luckily, I had a package of brand new AAA batteries. The only thing that worked was the mirror feature and the flip feature. As far as zoom in, zoom out, nope. Move left, move right, move up, move down, nope. Don't work. Because as much as I like this camera, I still am looking for a camera that will give me true color. Even though, the flashing colors around the jackalope are 80%, I want a camera that's going to give me 100% true color. And supposedly this camera was supposed to do that, but it don't frickin' work. I even switched computers. I thought, well, maybe it's, because this computer over here, I haven't deleted Prism. So I said, well, maybe OBS don't like this camera. I hook it up over on this computer, same shit. I could flip myself upside down and then right side up. I could do a mirror image, but zoom in, zoom out, left, right, up, down, nope, don't work. And that camera's definitely getting returned because for what I paid for it, it should work. Oh, I was pissed off. Well, pissed off more. I was pissed off because I had to go out in the cold and the rain to get the goddamn package off the porch. And then the camera don't work. Nobody, nobody believes in quality control anymore. But of course, made in China, they don't care. Throw it in a box, ship it. Years ago, everything that came off an assembly line got tested. Back in the day, my aunt was a tester for GE. And she worked in the power drill division. And there were like, I don't know, I'll say 20 girls. A drill would come down the conveyor belt. They take it off, plug it in, put it back on the belt with a big OK. Every item got tested. And if they had a bad one, it got over here. That's all she did for 8 hours a day. Okay, next. Okay. There was not a power drill that left the GE facility that didn't work. Because each and every drill was tested. And she said it was the same thing with electric mixers, anything electric. Not today. Nobody gets the perfect example. Oh, jeez. I ordered an AC to DC converter so that I could test any 12 volt light or accessory that I get the first one, brand new out of the box, plug it in, don't work. So I contact the seller. I said, hey, it don't work. All right, I'll send you another one. Sends me another one. Take it out of the box, plug it in, don't work. Now, he's thinking I'm fucking lying. Oh, you just want to beat me out of. I says, give me your address. Not where it was shipped from. Give me your address. I will pay to send both of these to you. You plug them in and turn them on. And I says, when you receive them and you test them, I want to hear back from you. So he sends me his address. I put him in a box. I send him back. About a week later, gee, you're right. Neither one of them work. No shit, Sherlock. He says, I'll send you a better one. The one next step up. I said, no, I don't want any more of your product. I said, the only way I'll take your product is you test it first. If it works, send it to me. Well, he didn't want to do that. And I can guarantee, Kathy, those switches weren't just tested once. If they were going in an airplane, I guarantee they were tested several times. But back in the day, everything was tested. If it was an electrical item, it was tested. Because I guarantee Whirlpool and Maytag, everybody was doing the same thing. Like my aunt said, every item that came out of that GE facility was tested. She just happened to be in the area with power drills. And she would plug it in, and back in the day, drills were, one speed, fast. Not like today, And she'd put an OK sticker on it and back on the conveyor belt. That way, with the OK sticker, people knew, okay, it's been tested. I don't take that. And she said there was like, I don't know, 14, 20 girls. And each item was physically tested, guaranteed to work. Yeah, yeah, airplane parts. Can you imagine getting goddamn airplane parts from China? 50-50 shot whether it's going to work. When I got the first one and it didn't work, all right, I gave the benefit of the doubt. All right, a bad one slips through. When he shipped me the second one and it didn't work, I was like, oh, come on. Then he wanted to send me another one. I said, I don't think so. Give me a refund. Well, you sure you don't want another one? I said, the only way you have the facility ship it to you. You physically test it. If it works, send it to me. Well, I said, well, then give me a refund. I mean, I appreciated him sending me the second one overnight. Because it came out of the Amazon warehouse downtown. I plug it in, it don't work. Then he gave me a rash of shit. I said, give me your address. I'm going to send them. You plug them in at your house. Maybe you got different voltage. And you let me know. And a week later, it was like, neither one of them worked. I should have had him send me a third one with an apology. But of course, made in China. Although it's getting very hard to find anything made in America anymore. Perfect example. When you go and it mainly you need a part for your car. Say I got a Ford Explorer. It's amazing parts made in Brazil, made in Vietnam, made in China, made in Japan. I'm like, am I ever going to get a part made in the U.S.? When they were still building the Crown Vic and the Mercury, they said that 70% of the parts came from different countries. Chris, I remember you would buy an AC Delco part, and it was made in USA. Now you buy an AC Delco part, made in Siberia. Although, GM sold the Delco division to some foreign outlet. And most, well, perfect example. They used to assemble a whole car. Now a car comes down the assembly line, the complete dashboard, the whole thing comes in from an outside company, all pre-assembled. All they do is bolt it in, plug it in. The seats, they come from an outside vendor. All they do is bolt them in. If they're power seats, which 90% of seats are, plug them in. Headlight assemblies, taillight assemblies, comes in from outside vendors. Back in the day, there were men that physically assembled them dashboards in plant. Not anymore. They're assembled by an outside vendor. The vendor gets the VIN number and the build sheet that says, okay, this thing's supposed to have this infotainment center and this and this and in this color. Then they assemble it. It's, wrapped, ready to ship, VIN number, label, so that they can use a reader, and a computer unloads, the truck gets unloaded, and then an automatic sorting system, computerized, picks the part, puts it in line, because, all right, this VIN number is going to be number 47 coming down the line. It gets put in line, and I would love one day to get in and fuck with the computer. Have a blue car come down the line, get one red door, one silver door, one green door, one orange door, Get a brown seat on one side, black seat on another, green dashboard, you know. Be like, holy shit, what's coming off that assembly line? And that way, you know, all the Ford, GM, Chrysler, they can eliminate jobs because the guys that assembled the dashboards, they don't need them anymore because they farmed that out. The guys that used to build the seats, don't need them anymore. We farmed them out. Tires come in mounted on rims already. We don't need guys to mount tires on rims because whoever is supplying the tires, Pirelli or whatever, they get a set of rims with a VIN number. Okay, these rims get this tire. 4 tires, wrap, VIN number on them, goes into the plant. Everything is all done outside. All they basically need is people on the assembly line to put all this shit in. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube. Watch. There is a video of the F-150 plant in Michigan, start to finish, and it shows everything coming in from the outside. I mean, they build the frame. The engine, the basic components are built in-house. Because the engines that my sister helps assemble at the Brook Park plant get shipped to she was telling me what the because some of them go to the Mexico assembly plant. And some go to, I can't remember the plant in the Midwest. None of the engines that her assembly line builds go to Detroit. Like the transmissions are built by an outside vendor. Like on that disaster, was it the 6-speed or the 10-speed? That Ford and GM went together to design the transmission and then an outside vendor built it. I want to say it was the 10-speed or was it the 6? Maybe it was the 6 because it was a bad transmission from day one. And this was a deal where Ford and GM designers got together, designed a transmission, but an outside company built it. I think it was the 6 because it got replaced by the 10. So here you have two of the biggest auto manufacturers consulting on building a transmission, and the outside company can't fucking build it right. You know, before they stopped or the deal expired or something, the little Nissan van, which is called the NV100 for Nissan Van 100, a version of that was sold by Chevy. The only difference is like the grill. I think it's the only difference is the grill and the bow ties. If you see an NV100 Nissan van and a Chevy parked side by side, it's the same fucking vehicle. Chevy said, hey, we don't want to engineer our own. How about you badge some vans for us? And then Nissan quit selling the vans in the U.S. Now, when Ford had the Transit Connect, the small little van, that was brought in from England. And then, for some reason, I guess they didn't sell enough of them or what, they stopped importing the Transit Connect. Now, I don't know if they build the Transit van here. They were bringing them in from England because they've had the Transit van over there for, Christ, 30 years. I mean, we used to have the Econoline van plant in Avon. I don't know what they're building at that plant. I think they build electric vehicles in that plant. God, I remember driving past that plant. There were Econoline vans for as far as the eye could see. Then they shut it down because it was cheaper to bring the transit vans in than to retool the assembly line to build them here. And you know, Ford and GM spend a gazillion dollars building plants to build these fucking electric vehicles, and they don't sell for shit. The only real electric vehicles I see around, this area are Teslas. Every now and then, an electric Chevy. I've yet to see an electric F-150 around here. And the electric F-150's been out for what, 4 or 5 years? I haven't seen one yet. And I can't understand somebody buying an electric pickup truck. I can't remember what does Ford call the electric one? The Lightning? For some reason, Lightning sticks in my mind. But I've yet to see one. Because they have a real unique grill. I mean, you can spot them from a mile away, and I've yet to see one. People aren't ready for electric vehicles. And the gridness across the United States isn't ready. I mean, the perfect example is the tree huggers out in a certain area out in California, Bel Air or somewhere. They have brownouts because everybody's plugging their fucking electric vehicle in to charge it overnight. Quick, go out and unplug the car, will you? You know, if electric vehicles would have been popular, they would have made them all along. Because they had electric cars back in the early 1900s. They weren't popular. If there would have been a demand, we'd have had electric cars right along. I thought it was called the Lightning. I've yet to see one. Well, I see one at a dealership. I've yet to see one on the road. And they've been, what, 4 or 5 years? You would think I would have seen one by now. Nope. Although I'll tell you what, the new F-150s, I really like the new LED setup, and there's a guy down the street that's got a 2025 F-150 Platinum. And I like the headlights and the LEDs, the daytime running lights. But I've yet to see a Lightning. Like my neighbor up the street, he got 2 Teslas. He's got the big one, Model Z, Model Q, whatever, and then he's got the newer, smaller one. Yeah, see, big waste of money. Big frickin' waste of money to design and engineer and build that truck. And it's a flop. Like most even goddamn hybrids. People don't want it. If it's got a battery in it, people don't want it. Yeah, America, we want good old gas sucking vehicles. Yeah, so you'll have a gas engine and a battery, and they'll work off of either the gas engine or the battery. But people don't want fully electric because they don't trust them. I think most electrics you get 300 miles. It would be all right if there were charging stations. There is not one charging station in this area. People say Walmart or Costco. You need like we have this big, huge BP station up the street with a car wash. When the car wash is working, hardly anybody gets a car wash and then most of the time it's broke down. Tear the car wash down, put some electric charging stations. But see, in order to do an electric charging station, you need a gas station that has a restaurant in it. Because people don't want to sit for half hour, 45 minutes to an hour in their car waiting for it to charge. So you around here you would literally have to build another station. Or like I say, tear that car wash down, build let's see, you can't do a McDonald's, you can't do I don't know what the hell, do it a food court. Because I think some big Walmarts have charging stations. You plug your car in, you go shop. The bigger Walmarts, I'm pretty sure they have a place you can sit down and eat. But to build a charging station, people they don't want to sit in their car for an hour. Oh God, no, I'm only at 75%. Yeah, see, I don't know up here because I don't go to Walmart or Costco or Sam's Club. So if they've got charging stations, fine. But you need them in more areas. Like a gas station. but they're not going to invest that kind of money until the take rate is. I think they said that the electric vehicles are like 8%. That doesn't justify the millions of dollars that have to be spent to build a charging facility. And, you know, there's the perfect example. The Lightning was a flop. So all them billions that Ford wasted, you know, all right, they'll retool the plant and build some other electric vehicle that ain't going to sell. I think in 2 years, I've seen one Nissan Leaf. The other day I saw a, what the hell's that Hyundai? Kona? Is that the electric one? I saw one up in the parking lot at Mark's. I also saw a, the hell's the electric Cadillac? Lyric. I saw one of them when I went up to Family Dollar. But they're rarities. I see more Teslas than I see anything. American public is not ready for an electric vehicle because they have range anxiety. I think 300 miles is tops. You damn well can't drive cross country without having to plan detours off the main routes to get a charge. And then, God forbid, you miss your exit and you're like, oh, I only got enough electricity for 10 more miles. I like, you know, I pull in, I fill up my Passat, and I can drive for a month. Because I don't drive that much. I think I got, since I filled it up, I think I got 67 miles. And the needle just moved off a full. Really? I didn't see that in the news. I did not see that in the news this morning. How old was she? She had to be up there. Wow. That's sad. Another one of the stars from our era. 91. God bless her. Did it say what the cause of death was, or is it one of these family requests privacy? Although I haven't heard her name in the news for a while. But 91, God love her. Although if her last years were battling Alzheimer's, that's no way to live. But I hadn't realized she was that old. Well, look at good old Dick Van Dyke, man. He hit the big 100 and still agile as can be. Well, not as agile as he used to be, but agile and got his faculties and I mean, I would like to be like him if I hit 100. Still up making public appearances and I saw an interview of him shortly after he turned 100. He walked out to talk to the interviewer and sat down like, God love him. Well, yeah, he's got to get rid of that stupid beard. That stupid beard makes him look like 200 years old. I don't know what it is that him and who's another one's got that stupid ass beard? I can see him and his stupid ass beard. I can't think of his name. He had the Late Show. Letterman, yeah, he's another one. That big ass stupid beard. He looks like a homeless person. You know, Dick Van Dyke, if that beard was styled and shaped, but it just looks like he stuck his finger in a goddamn light socket. And Letterman, too. I don't know what it is with. Is it that hard to shave? Yeah. No, I like mine. But I mean, mine doesn't look like Grizzly Adams either. Get out the Narapa way. Why do you wait till they start to really ache, Ron? God, as soon as I feel a twinge, I'm slathering that shit. I don't want it to get to the point where they're on fire. I start to feel twinges, man, it's right on the nightstand. Especially since I know it works. Yeah, it's right there, right. If I feel the nerves starting to act up, grab that jar. I don't know what that says. I hate the little itty bitty font. God damn it. That was a That was the one thing I liked about Prism. I could put the goddamn chat right in the middle. I feel like Kaiser. You could always tell when he had a problem reading. He never liked to put his glasses on. He'd be like, Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Kathy. I think I think he wanted to say irritation. Oh, I'll tell you what. As soon as I start to feel any type of twinging going on, I just reach over and grab that, because when they're fully on fire, you're laying there counting the minutes. All right, come on, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, but Ron, I mean, it don't come on like at the snap of a fingers. Maybe yours does. Mine, I can feel it start brewing. If I get any twinging, I mean, it's not like, you're using a pound of that stuff. It goes a long way. I immediately, off come the blankets. Grab the jar. That stuff's been a savior for me, I'll tell you. Matter of fact, since I have to deal with Amazon to return this camera, I'll tell them, take my refund and send me some Naropaway. Just so I have standby. But you don't have to use much. I'll tell you, that's another surprising thing. Just work it in. I haven't gone through that. Like I say, now if I feel a I think only once, and I was in a sound sleep. And by the time I realized that somebody poured gasoline on my feet and lit them, because I don't know, the 5th or the 8th, when I go see my foot doctor, I'm taking that stuff with me. You ever hear of this? Because my pain management doctor never heard of it. It surprised me. I said, you ever hear of this? What is that? He said, no, never heard of it. And I explained to him how fast it works. I said, you can put this down on your suggestion, like with the magnesium. It's like my buddy's wife. She's got nerve pain in her neck, and I told her, I said, try magnesium. I said, go to the drugstore, get a small one, try it. Yeah, any of the root beers, they're all bland. Any of them. I mean, A&W used to be, right up there with Dad's. Any even like Fago, they're all bland. I don't. Part of the problem is, they're cutting back. They're cheapening ingredients, and they don't think the public is noticing. Now, I haven't had hires in a while. Hires used to be but like even with the Verners used to be a really strong ginger ale. Matter of fact, they used to advertise, aged in a barrel. They don't put that on the label anymore. And Verners now tastes like regular ginger ale. I'm really disappointed in it. The only reason I'm drinking it is because it's been on sale. Because my grandfather used to drink it, and boy, as a little kid, I couldn't take it. It was too strong. Now it's like drinking Schweppes or Seagram's or any of the price keeps going up and the flavor keeps going down. But I didn't take the shot, so my taste buds are still the same. And like I say, Verner's used to be almost as strong as ginger beer. And the only really, strong ginger beer today is Goya. I bought a couple bottles of Goya, a couple months back. It was so goddamn strong, I had a problem drinking it. And Berners used to be almost like that. It was a real bitey ginger ale. Now, tastes like Cotton Club or Seagram's, Schweppes. Like I say, the only reason I've been buying it is it's been $1.50 for a 2 liter. I ain't paying $3 or $3.25 for a goddamn 2 liter. Matter of fact, when the Verner's goes off sale, I'm going to go back to my $1.45 RC Cherry Cola because I'm cheap. Matter of fact, I don't think I've seen Hires recently. Who the hell bottles Hires? I don't think I've seen Hires lately. I used to drink Dad's root beer all the time. Oh man, that was. I don't know if they just. Kathy, have you seen Dad's root beer down there around you anywhere? I don't know if the plant got bought out or closed down or they just. I know that there's certain pops that are only sold in certain areas. Well, I got to go to Mark's tomorrow. I'm going to get a 2 liter of Hires. If you say that Dr. Pepper, then Mark's will have Hires. I'm going to try it because Hires used to be a real good root beer. Right up there with A&W and Dad's. But like I say, Verner's ginger ale is not like it used to be. Because my grandfather liked a good, strong ginger ale. And Hires, on the label, always used to say, aged in a barrel. It don't say that anymore. Be it It used to be right up in the corner where it said Verner's. Right up in the corner, right next to the Verner's, it aged in a barrel. Now it's aged in a plastic bottle. Because it's not the Verner's I remember. And I'm very, very disappointed in it. And it tends to go flat fast too. I think part of it is these bottlers are spending more money on energy drinks because that's what this generation's drinking. Like when I was in Dollar Tree, you just see row after row of energy drinks. And I think they're taking their ingredients and concentrating more on the energy drink than the old. Because, like I say, Verner's tastes like regular ginger ale now. And it never used to. God, every time I go into Dollar Tree, there's a different brand of energy drink. Really? It's down there? Yeah, like I say, certain areas get certain. Because Dad's has been gone from up here for, I would say, 30 years easy. Now, if I go to B.A. Sweetie Candy, he gets Dad's, but he brings it in from out of state. Because I asked him once, I said, how is it you got Dad's and nobody else does? And he says, well, I have it shipped in from out of state. So, you know, wherever they're bottling it down south, he's paying to bring it in up here. But he also, you know, gets his price per bottle, too. I mean, I'm not going to pay, you know, $2 a bottle for Dad's root beer for 16 ounce. You know, that's ridiculous. If you do see it, pick me up some. I'll figure out how to pay you some way or another, just to see if it tastes like it used to. because I haven't had. Well, the last time I bought a couple of bottles at B.A. Sweetie was easily like 20 years ago. But if you see some down there, like a 2 liter or a 6 pack, or I'll figure some way of paying you. Because I would like to try it again just to see what it tastes like. And save one bottle for posterity. Just to show the young kids in the neighborhood, look what I used to drink. Which is, a shame because Dad's was a big seller up here back in the day. You saw Dad's root beer everywhere. I mean, you could go into a gas station vending, the old bottle vending machines. There'd be Dad's root beer. Jasper, Indiana. Well, like I say, Ron, different areas of the country. Even though it's bottled in Indiana, we don't get it here in Ohio. At least not in northern Ohio. I wonder if I could buy direct from the plant. They probably want me to buy a case. I guess I'll have to be doing a little googling tomorrow. See if I can buy direct. I mean, if the price wasn't outrageous, I'd pay for a case. Because that's like spam. Spam makes like 20 different versions. And I used to love Tabasco flavored spam and bacon flavored spam. And then stores cops, they stopped carrying it because people don't eat it. I mean, like at Mark's, they don't even carry the turkey. They have regular spam and low sodium. That's all they carry. I can get it online? Okay, well, I'm going to look into it tomorrow. So, I went on the spam website. If you order a case, you can mix and match. So I could get some Tabasco, I could get some bacon, I could get some jalapeno, as long as you order a case. which I'm about ready to. I'm going to order half a case of Tabasco and half a case of bacon. Is Christ, they got turkey spam, they got regular spam, low sodium spam, Tabasco spam, bacon spam, teriyaki spam. Even gigantic eaglet doesn't carry the Tabasco anymore. And when I asked the assistant manager, he goes, we don't sell that much spam. I had spam last night. And was it good? I ate the whole can. Made a pig of myself. I was only going to eat half. I was going to save half for tonight. It was so good I ate the whole can. But since I can order Dad's online, I'm going to look into it tomorrow. As long as it's not too frickin' expensive. I'm not going to spend a gazillion dollars just to sample what I'll probably be disappointed in. Hopefully they haven't screwed that one up. But tomorrow when I go to Mark's, I'm going to get a 2-liter of Hires. Just to try it. Because I'm very disappointed in the Vernors. I really am. But like I say, I think all of these bottling companies are devoting their energy, devoting their time and money and materials to energy drinks. Because when I was at Family Dollar, God, there was one energy drink. It was called like Near Death Experience. I said, oh, there's one I'd like to drink. They are Riptide and God, there must have been 20 different varieties of energy drinks. But that's all these kids drink nowadays. They don't drink pop, they drink energy drinks. I know my kid used to drink 4 or 5 cans of Red Bull every day, and then he wondered why he had the jitters. God, he was on caffeine overload. Yeah, he would buy Red Bull by the case. Take 3, 4 of them to work with him every day. I tried a sip of Red Bull one day. I said, here, let me try one of them. I took one drink and I was like, holy shit, how can you, this stuff like tastes like shit. And then they mix it with Jägermeister on top of it. It was like the other day when I went up to my, my Indian store. There were 3 or 4 teenage kids in front of me, and each one had a frickin' energy drink. I'm standing there with my burners, But I'm gonna look into the dads and see if I could buy like a 6-pack. They probably want you to buy a case, though. It all depends on price. But I think the next time I'm at Mark's although I wouldn't know what pop guy to talk to. The Pepsi guy, the 7-Up guy, the Coca-Cola guy. I don't know. Dad's is probably an independent up here. It got to be the point. I remember him saying something that when he was at Cipron, his supervisor would tell him if he saw him with a can of Red Bull, put it in the fridge. Because he would. He'd pound 4, 5, 6 of them a day. Then he wondered why he couldn't sleep. And they're not cheap either. None of those energy drinks are cheap. But if I can order Dad's online, I'm gonna first thing in the morning, I'm gonna look into it and see if I can get some. Well, peoples, I think it's about that time. Hard to believe the year is almost going to be over. Holy shit. $44 for a 12-pack? God damn. I'm going to have to think about that one. And with that, everybody, thanks for being here. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. See ya. Take 2. See ya.